Hello, Digidestins. This is Kyle D, better known as Ridemyavatar, and today we're going to discuss BT-07's new low. We're going to do the top decks that happened over the weekend. We're going to discuss this every week, where we're going to look at what the meta is shaping up to be, what new cards are getting teched into these decks, just to give a little bit of future insight of what BT-07 is going to look like for you. So first off, again, it just released in JP's format not too long ago, actually last Friday, so we only have this weekend's results. So guys, without further ado, let's dive right in and see what these decks can do on their own, and we're going to go over by color, and let's see what we can do. So the first deck we're going to discuss is none other than the Bonds of Courage new evolution. It's a really interesting deck once EX support comes out. It gained the ability to search out the 3-drop ties, or even just Bond of Courage itself, which it really needed to have a massive filter engine that just benefited it so well. So this deck does a lot of crazy, awesome stuff because of all the support it has. It has Agumons that give Greymon security pluses, got Agumon that attacks a player, it gets plus 2000 DP when attacking. Greymon that gets cheated in and pops a 5000, I think, 4000 DP Mon out of nowhere, which is really good. Then you have the War Greymon that punches through security control like nothing, just to have that ability. Plays the Volcandramons, which surprises me. It doesn't play the Greymons that gain an extra security, but that's about what we're going to expect. Plays the Tai Kamiya that can help Agumon Bond of Courage get cheated in, being able to help clear out stuff and just restand and do its nifty, awesome abilities. It plays Giga Storm to delete ultimates. If they can get 2 ultimates out, you can blow them up with Giga Storm, which is really nice. And then we have the Flame Memory Booster, which is a brand new card also next to Giga Booster that gives one of your Mons extra security checks. But it also has the delay feature, which your next turn you can just use with your Tai Kamiya and just go off from there. This deck is all about gaining advantage, and I can see why it did so well. Just draw, power up. This one, if they block, you can at least get an extra attack in. Really good, crazy good. Kind of just see that this is probably not a bad start for the set. I'm betting he played Churromon, the draw one. If you have a Greymon with all these Greymons in it, you're not wanting to not plus. So sorry about not having everything there. So next one is a Kaiser Greymon, aka Emperor Greymon for us. They are playing the Digimon line, the trial deck Digimons, Flamedramon with piercing, which is super important in BT6. Gives us the ability to swing it with Ancient Greymon and clear out stacked. What's really nice is now Ancient Greymon has not one, but at least guarantees 3 swings on the Agunimon attack, which is mind-blowing to me. Just to be able to take out 3 security at 13 is so good. It plays the Gomon just so that it can filter, grab you a Tamer and a Digimon. This deck is very powerful, and telling this right now, it's going to not be slept on. Everybody's going to go all out on this. Ancient Greymon being able to take out the 3 security checks because of the promo Agunimon is just so good. And then the 10U really does help out, because once the Ancient Greymon blows up and goes to the drop, you can start using the resources that you had underneath it with the 10U play later on that you just shove in, and boom, your Ancient Greymon just swings in. Emperor Greymon just swings in for that last clear with Blitz, or you can use Omnimon just to clear out again, getting those final attacks in. I can see why they like Gravity Crush in this deck. I know it doesn't have a security effect, but a 0+2 memory, but then at your opponent turn you give them +2 memory, which is not bad at all. Analog Boy keeps you at your turn, because once Ancient Greymon blows up, the combo with this deck is nutty. If you have a few Analog Boys, Emperor Greymon can just be Ancient Greymon can be blown up, and then by his own effect, rest the Analog Boys, because he played the champion out or a rookie, it's still your turn because Analog Boy proceeds to happen afterwards, and the memory gain brings it back to your turn, which is really nice. Red memory boost is pretty solid to be able to search. Atomic Inferno is so good. Just to be able to, let's say you do it on the Agumon, he has 1 extra security check, and then you digivolve into Ancient Greymon, you can clear out 4 like nothing. And your opponent just can't stop the train. Ancient Greymon's just so nasty. I can see why this deck does so well. And we also have another Ancient Greymon list, which, again, pretty much the same stuff. We got the Flame Dramons, 1 Agumon, the Bakumon is kind of really important, and then your turn, once per turn, when your tamer digivolves into a mon, gain 2 memory, which is really good just to be able to keep it your turn, especially making your Gunimon become a free evolution, or your Burning Greymon a free evolution, which is really good. Then they do play the Susano, which is awesome. This is kind of spicy. I was not expecting the on deletion Eismon scatter mode to draw 2, then you trash 2 cards from your hand. I can see where where their thinking process was, and a great test it is. I can't wait to see more decks that kind of use Eismon for that draw 2, discard 2, especially with the fact that Takuya just takes off with this. Just because, again, they're using the trash as their resource, unlike the, blue deck hybrid that just doesn't use it as often. It's not bad. We're just trucking along. Again, another one that they played with Kaiser Greymon. Ancient Greymon's in here. Emperor Greymon, of course. The Ties, the Marcus, the Takuyas. It's just really good. Analog Boy, of course. I don't like that they're only playing 1 Analog Boy. Definitely a 3-up for this deck. Just to mill faster and just get to your sources. Finding Demimera is pretty decent, actually. Just being able to get the extra power is always good. Next is another one for red. Got Emperor Greymon, Ancient Greymon combo. The 3 Analog Boy plus Takuya is just really good. Atomic Blaster is always good. I think this plays a little too heavy on the Tamers, but that's just my opinion. But Bakomon is definitely a rising star. So guys, definitely don't sleep on Emperor Greymon at all. So guys, let's dive into the next sets of decks. Next sets of decks is quite interesting, actually. We are running into the Hexablau deck. This, I don't remember what rookies it played, but it's a very interesting list. You could guess it's going to be Bakomon or anything like that. Just basic stuff. We got Blaukomon, Gomon. Of course, you need these for this deck. The Makoa Betamon is really good so that your opponent can't gain memory outside, so the mirror match kind of slows them down, which, again, this also helps out for the fact everybody's on these memory boosters, and having this slam down slows them down a lot. Then they have the EX Gomon, so on play, trash an evolutionary source from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon, which is really good. And then they're playing 4 blockers. Ikuamon is in here just to do the same thing as the Gomon, just to take care of your opponent's stuff. Then you got the Kumamon, and Orirakamon. Just really good cards that help out with Hexablau. I mentioned this before. They're really going to be used in this deck. Just benefits so well. You have Crystal Paildramon, Marjoriamon, which is really nice to see. Trash all the top of Digi-Evolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Really good. Then you have Zudomon in here just to, when Digivolving, trash one of your opponent's Digimon evolutionary sources from the bottom. And then your turn, when this Digimon attacks, your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with no Digi-Evolution can attack one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, which is really good. Then you have Hexablau, Azulomon, Vikemon is really nice to see for this. A 1-up Spice. Nothing too crazy here. They got 2 Davis, Sora Joe, really nice. Tommy, just to be Tommy. Just to remove all those evolutionary sources is just really good. Following Memory Boost is a really solid card as well. You can see where this deck is going. It's a very powerful looking deck up against the meta. Don't sleep on Hexaplow. Telling this right now, especially once we get to BT-07. All gloves are off. There's just too much support for him to just not be scary. Next, here is the Ancient Garurumon Bond of Courage. It just got a slight update from this set. Nothing too crazy. It's playing the Devis, the Upas. Gomon's in here from the BT-6, which is not bad at all. Gomon is just there to help filter. Playing the Kendo Garurumons, Ancient Garurumons, of course, just to restand all your Garurumons. Bond of Friendship. Nasty card. This deck goes off in BT-6. This deck is just still going to go off further down the line. There's nothing this deck can't do. Multi-attack like crazy. It's a lot more consistent than Magna Garurumon is. But again, it's just really good. Analog Boy, Vulcans, the Ice Wall, of course, all your opponents' Digimon gain lose one memory. Until the end of your next opponent's turn, you lose 2 memory when they attack. Again, for 1, I understand why this is just crazy. Nothing else too spicy outside of that. And they play Mecha on Churromon is for the fact of Rookie Rush, even if it's not that big of a thing. Just being able to block multiple times is just really good. Analog Boys, the Matt, the Davis. Of course, you're going to play all these. Next, we are going to dive right into Magna Garurumon, Ancient Garurumon, with the Biowolfmons, the Churromons. It's a really solid deck, and it's turning out a lot better than what people are expecting. When one of your opponent's Digimon Digi-Evolution is trash, draw a card. Probably this is a card they use in the BT, in the Hexaplow. I think this is the card they use. Just because drawing advantage is so good. You got Churromons, you got a full playset of all of them because you want to use their effect, being able to gain memory and then just do crazy stuff. You got Lobomons, you got Kendo Garurumons, Gomons, Churromon, Biowolfmon, Ancient Garurumon, Magna Garurumon. Just a lot of good cards. Magna Garurumon just being able to combo off, being able to bounce stuff, restand itself. Your sources are now able to multi-use. It's really good all around. Ice Wall, of course, is still fantastic of a card. And you can see why people are starting to subtract Hammer Sparks. Ice Wall just does it. Preventing your opponent from attacking for a turn for 1 cost is nutty. Next, we do have 4 Upamons, which I do agree with this deck can really go ham if you give them 4 Upamon. Just draw potential is always nice. Neimon, we haven't seen much in the hybrid department with Neimon, but yeah, Neimon's pretty useful just because play a tamer from your hand for free, basically, that has a inheritable. And I mean, I can't express how much I like it. Just solidly good card because if you get to play a tamer from your hand, especially Koji Minimoto, just cheating him in for nothing is just really good. 2-for-1 deals are always my favorite kind of card. I don't like spending resources too much. Giving you 3, I should be able to play 2 out of it. I like that. It's like playing 1 and a 2 drop out of that. Nothing more than that. Ice Wall, of course, we're going to see it. An Aqua Viper. You know, Omnimons, Magna Garurumon. It's not a bad lineup. Then one last blue hybrid is Upamon, Devimon. You know, just the basics kind of deck. You kind of use Susanamon here. And then blue memory boost just to try to filter your deck. I like it. Pokemon. I think this could have been just, if you're gonna play this, you should run the Sneemon. Neimon. Neimon is just so good just to get 2 cards out of the deal. I love cards. And then one last deck here for blue. We got the Sora Joe, which is very interesting with the Analog Boy. I don't know why they're playing Analog Boy except for prop. Like, Analog Boy in this deck does hinder a little bit. Just because you don't grab the sources from the drop, like his counterpart of the red Emperor Greymon. This one has to use your hand, so you want cards that are going to draw you advantage more or less than cards that are just going to cost you. So again, definitely agree with the Nightmon Pokemon line. Churromon is definitely the base, anything like that. I kind of like where hybrids are going. Let me know down in the comments. So what's very interesting in BT-07 is Shinegreymon actually comes back this set at full steam, just because there's so much good support with, you know, Zoe. Zoe just brings the game into another state that wasn't expected. I'm very proud to say that we kind of get this weird janky deck that wasn't originally impossible. Of course, we get the Patamon that searches for a tamer, Upamons for the draw, Balkamon just for the draw, and, well, trying to get a tamer and a hybrid out of the deal. Kazamon, which is Sylphamon, Zephyrimon, which helps gain your security. If it has a hybrid, your security mons get plus 2,000, which is really nice. Jet Sylphamon, especially the ultimates here. Just being able to Digivolve on cheaper. And then you have the recovery when placed with a hybrid in its Digi-Evolution sources, recovery +1. Just taking advantage of stuff. Shinegreymon, Shikuyamon, just to slow things down. Suzanomon is just here because it gives them a removal plus a 3 security check. That's just nasty. Shikuyamon is in here for, I'm gonna say, to slow down your opponent's resources. You know, Blinding Ray, Reinforced Memory Booster is to put stuff in there just to force your opponent to swing into your security and fry. The TK Kyrie combo is really nice. Just being at, if you have fewer security cards than your opponent, gain 2 memory, which is really good. I mean, just so much good tamer value in this set. Just so Shinegreymon just shines brighter than before. Definitely be on the watch for Shinegreymon, Suzanomon. Next one, we do have another Shine list without Suzanomon, but again, we're turboing Shinemon out now. It's not as bad as we used to have because we have Ridemyavars in here, we have Shinegreymon, we have plenty of tamers now that if our opponent starts hitting our security, cool. We're just going to have a wide field, and then we can control the board so much just by one Shinegreymon play that is just ridiculous. We're going to make it so it's harder to hit us, make it so we have more memory. Again, now without Kyrie in the deck, you don't have to worry too much. Against Jabbling, Blinding Ray, Reinforced Memory Booster, just to, you know, recovery 1 +1. So good at the end of the day. I don't see this deck not sticking around this whole format. And the last one is Security Control Pure Yellow. Using Holy Waves, Wyvern Breath to blow up things that your opponent just doesn't want you to have. Reinforced Memory Boost, Zoe's, TK's, you know, Sylphamon from EX Booster, Dynastamon, which if you lose a security, congratulations, you're recovering 1. And it's ridiculous because they all check and recover. Sylphamons, Magna, Angemon, Jet Sylphas, Raphomon, Kazama, and then Zilphamon. Again, I can see why this deck's doing well because Suzanomon is like their win con for this deck. They're building up a massive recovery just to keep you at bay, and then they're gonna go right into Suzanomon and just clear out everything, make you have a terrible day. Just because Suzanomon can pop a big guy very easily and then just swing constant pressure that the opponent just can't deal with in a day. So that's kind of yellow in a nutshell. Let's dive into the next deck we're going to talk about is the green decks. We had 3 that topped over the weekend, which uses a lot of the hybrid support. It's really nice to see hybrid getting a lot of recognition, even though they were classified like the worst season, that a lot of people hated it. They quit after it. A lot of people just quit Digimon after Digimon became people. So let's go over this. Yeah, Minamon, Tenemons, just basics. Nemons, a lot of searcher value here with the Bottomons, Tenemons, the Bokomon, and Neemon to cheat in the JP. What makes this deck super nasty is like the Rhino Kabuterimon being able to cheat in a Mega so easily without even batting an eye is not even funny. Ancient Churromon is just bonkers good. It was probably slept on a little too much in BT-06, but this card is just ridiculously good. Being able to suspend to your opponents when they attack, they're losing out on pressure, and then they can't do anything about it because you just rested two of their mons without blocker, of course. But if they had blockers, they're gonna lose memory anyway. Doesn't really matter. Just really good stuff here. The Blossomons, a lot of it's starting to slowly slip away from the Digisorptions. Yeah, Nidhogg is still really good at the end of the day, but there's just better stuff to play now. We got Churromon, which is really interesting. Digimon, it's really good cards. We get the Tenomons just to help with the fact is we're playing a lot of Insectoids, and it just gives really good combo off. Arbomon is a quick cheat in, Digivolve on top, swing in for game status. Ancient Beetlemon is just really good at the end of the day. Just because if you delete one of your opponent's Digimon in battle, you clear out the security without activating anything. Nope. You just delete one of your opponent's security just for it, and that gets scary quickly. Greymon slowing down the game state for your opponent, just can't swing in quickly. This is probably going to be what kills off Rookie Rush a little quickly. Just Ancient Churromon, once you get it on the board, they're done. They're really done. They have to kill you quickly. But again, they can't. They need to go 10 times wider, because when an opponent's Digimon attacks, you rest two of their mons that don't have blocker. Cool. They're going from three possible attacks down to one. If they had 6 possible attacks, it's only 2. It's crazy good, Ancient Churromon. This card, I will never sleep on this card. Just saying. Next, we have another Ancient Beetlemon. It's a hybrid deck. A lot of green hybrid is just so good this format, because you can Digivolve on top of a bad level 4 turn that you put down. Digivolve up. We're not hyper focused on Digibursting at all. This is just straight up stun and then swing out for game. This is really good all around general cards. Just really crazy. So guys, definitely let me know what you think about green so far in 7. To be honest, purple looks like the most diverse so far, but they only have 3 tops so far. We're gonna say purple is looking good. I want to see what else they can do. We got Demi-Meramon, Tsunimon, Gabumon, Gazimons, Labramons, the basics, Gabumon again. And we get the Lobomon. Eismon Scatter Mode is just so good, just because we can mill out, trash a bunch of cards to use Lucemon Chaos Mode so easily. We are using Churromon just for the fact is it's just so good with a bunch of Tamers. You're just playing Tamers for free. You're just making your opponent have a bad day, and it's just really nice to see. We got Swartz Lezerin, which is really nice of a card, but the Ultimate Sacrifice, being able to play your level 5 Lucemon on play, even activating its stuff, it's just so good. And then even hard playing the Lucemon to gain a recovery, it helps out at the end of the day. Eismon to help mill, so good. I just can't express it. Then we have like a Lilithmon loop version deck where it uses Ultimate Sacrifice to play your Lucemon Chaos Mode and using Nubismon to rush in. Again, big brain plays with purple. I'm not joking. Don't sleep on purple this set. Actually, don't sleep on any of the decks that are showing up in BT-07. They're all super good, super consistent. Yellow kind of got their nerf that they needed after two full sets of just being the top dog. But now we have Lilith Loop, Lucemon, which is really good. I cannot express. And then we have the Titanmon Nidhogg play, where it uses a lot of their cards that are meant for discard, gain advantage out of it. play a combo. Digimon is a super powerful boss monster that just clears out problem child so easily. I think purple definitely has the most resource options to go with. And we're going to be using Eismons a lot, but that's okay. We're fine with that. Being able to discard our cards, gain advantage out of it, still good till this day. Guys, let me know what you think about the purple list. I think that's pretty... We have Black X Antibody, which is a really solid color this time around. I'm excited for it because Alphamon is really awesome, but we have the Churromon line. I'm going to use the Shinegreymon to help gain extra security, and having all your Digimon with a certain amount have pierced. They're out. We're using Churromon. If this card is anything to tell you about, this card is broken. I'm not joking. And let me explain why it's broken. Being able to clear off the top Mon, and this is insecurity. Mind you, being able to Digiball 1 insecurity for a Mond is just good. It brings down bigger stuff, removes security attacks, maybe. Just preventative. It helps counteract what red and blue is trying to do in this, or even the hybrids in general. If they are using cards similar to Agunimon and Lobomon, if they ever get those kind of cards with their ancient versions, it just prevents them from getting their recycling card. That's super important at the end of the day. That's why they always needed it so much. But this card de-digivolving that shuts them down hard. You have the Churromon for the X antibody searching, and they're all X antibodies. Most of them, you know, the Duragoromon, the Greymon, the Alphamon, Duragoromon, just all facts around designed around the Alphamon and the Duragoromon. Just the B X antibody in a nutshell. And Iron Fist Onslaught is just so good. It's a control deck with a really powerful boss top, which not many decks have using the black memory booster. This deck surprised me. This is called Dark Nightmon Rush. Using, you know, the normal stuff, Monotamon to be able to search out your Skull Nightmons and the Deadly Axe Mons, or even Dark Nightmon. The reason why this deck goes off so crazily well is your main goal of it is to slap down Dark Nightmon, get the Deadly Axe and Skull Nightmon underneath it, and then when they destroy this card, you get 2 Mons out of the deal, and then you slam down Spiral Masquerade, Starmon, just to help prevent your opponent from doing a full board, and you just keep them down low. And it's really good. Breath of the Gods to help for protection. Iron Fist Onslaught just to clear big guys out. Pride Memory Booster is just so good. Just all this works phenomenally. I can see why this deck does well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this Nightmon Rush deck in the future. So guys, definitely pay attention. Hopefully you like this little covering. Let me know how you felt. Give me positive feedback, negative feedback. I don't care. Just let me know how you felt me going over the decks of BT-07. Let's dive in more of these later on. So guys, without further ado, let's like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!